Oh, thank you. Yummy, yummy. Hi, my name is Lexi. Welcome to my channel. Today we're making curried lentils or tikka masala lentils. This is one of my favorite plant-based meals. My 1-year-old loves these as well, so they are toddler friendly. So I hope you enjoy. Let's get into it. You're gonna need some lentils of your choice. I am using green lentils. A couple tomatoes. You can use canned tomatoes if you'd like as well. I have a red onion. You can use white onion. Also, I have some oil, water, and then my spices are some curry powder, some ginger, cumin, and cayenne for a little kick. I will be making this also baby friendly, so I'm probably going to keep out the cayenne in this case. But if you want that little spiciness to it, you can do that as well. I also would suggest using fresh garlic and ginger if you have it. I don't have fresh ginger at the moment, so I'll be using my spice here, and then I will chop up some fresh garlic as well. Alright, let's get into it. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and chop up my onion. Favorite way to chop onions, leave the root intact, and then you just cut off in half and cut this part off, and then you can just go down the length of the onion. I find this the easiest way, and also it avoids the crying. I don't know if I'm just like extra sensitive to onions, but every time if I ever chop the root off of the onion, my eyes are just like killing me. So this just makes it easier to slice, and then we can go ahead and cut off the pieces so they're nice and small. I am using about a cup of lentils, so this is probably about good enough. You can do a little bit more if you like. Alright, so I'll chop up my onion, and then I'll chop up my tomatoes here. Like I said, you can use canned tomatoes, crushed tomatoes. That works too if you're like in a pinch. I prefer to use fresh if I can, and then I just try to get these as small as I can. You can probably throw them in a food processor and pulse them up a little bit just to get them real crushed, but I don't mind having a little bit thicker. Just cook them down for a little bit longer, if anything. So we'll get these all nice and chopped up. So I typically, the way I cook is I eyeball a lot of things, kind of add stuff as I go. So I will work really hard on getting specific amounts in the recipes for you. I will include the measurements. I kind of go based off like how much lentils. So if I'm doing a couple lentils, this is kind of the basic amounts of the other ingredients. Good. And then I'll prep my garlic here. I don't know where I found these giant garlic, but they're huge. I'm probably just gonna use about half of this. And again, if you want more of something, like, go for it, explore, mess around with your flavors. So I'll just chop those up. I have one of these handy little garlic presses, so I'll put that in there. Now that everything's chopped, we'll go ahead and start putting everything together. All right, so I went ahead and put some oil in my pan here already. Some avocado oil, that's my favorite to cook with. Doesn't leave any flavor, and It's just a healthier oil in my opinion. So now I'm gonna just go ahead and throw in the onions. And we'll get these cooked up until they're just slightly soft, a little translucent. Okay, now they're getting a little bit translucent. I'll go ahead and add in my garlic. This tastes good, really garlicky. Sometimes I'll add quite a bit. Like I said, I'm making this like comfortable for my baby as well. So I don't want to like put too many pungent flavors in there. But he does like season and flavor, so I'm definitely adding a good amount. And I'm making quite a bit, so it's gonna be enough for the whole batch. And then at this point, I like to kick up my heat just a tad bit, not too much, just so that I can get everything incorporated. I'll get the seasonings in there, and then we're gonna throw the tomatoes in right after. All right, so I have a curry powder here. Curry powder is probably the most I put out of all of these, just because I want a good flavor in there. So I would say I use about 1.5 teaspoons to 2. I'm putting in the ginger. This when you add in the garlic, that would be the perfect time to add the fresh ginger if you're doing fresh ginger. Find many other recipes for curry lentils or curry sauces, and all the different spices and flavors that they layer, which come out amazing. This is just what I do. This is what I have on hand. If I had other seasonings, I would probably add a little bit more of other stuff as well. But I find that this curry seasoning that I got, that it has a really good variety of those nice warm flavors. So I find it to be really easy and convenient to just add in one seasoning, and that works for me. So you can kind of see there's these little, kind of like a little crust of seasonings getting built up there at the bottom. Now that these seasonings are nice and warm, I'll go ahead and add in my tomatoes and let that all start cooking up together. And this is smelling so good right now. If you do want to add in the spice, the cayenne, wait until you cook down your tomatoes just a little bit, and then you can add that in there. Cayenne does tend to burn pretty quick, so you don't want to put that in too soon. So now I'm just gonna let the tomatoes start cooking down, and we'll just let it do its thing at this point. Oh, and salt. This would be the perfect time to add some salt. I forgot to mention that. So I'll go ahead and add my salt. I know salt does bring out the liquid in the tomatoes too, so I like to add that salt when I put those tomatoes in, just to start bringing out that moisture. Getting everything nice and cooked. Oh, this smells so good. Love curry lentils. I made this recipe for my son not too long ago, and he loved it. So I got super excited because now I can make them for both of us, and then I'll just add a little spice to my own. He's just turned 1, so I know he's not ready for spicy yet, but soon enough I'm sure he will be interested quick time. So you just keep mixing these up every here and there, letting those tomatoes cook down. All those yummy flavors coming together and smell so good. All right, so I'm gonna let this do this thing for a little bit. When I get it to the right texture, I will come back and then we'll finish up the process. Here is the tomatoes. This is the texture now. It's like a little bit thicker. Most of the liquid has come out and cooked all together there. So I have my cup of lentils. I already rinsed and drained these. I'll just toss these in here, and then I'll get my liquid in here as well. I give it a little mix. You don't really have to do that. So for 1 cup of lentils, you use 3 cups of water. Now that we got everything in there, this is a good time to try the broth and see if you like the flavor, if you want to add some more salt, if you want to add a little more of the curry or anything. I'm going to add up just a tad bit more salt. I do lightly salt my food now for my son when we're eating the same stuff, and then I can add more to mine if I feel like I need it, but he doesn't need a whole lot of salt, so I just lightly salt my stuff. So I think that's a little bit better. Yum. All right, so I'm gonna let this boil. I kind of kick it up just a little bit. Okay, so now it's come to a nice light boil here, and I'm gonna go ahead and get the lid on. Something that I did not mention was that you could always use vegetable broth if you would like for a little extra. I just use water. I feel like water works fine with all the flavors that are in there from the onion and tomato, so that works for us, but some vegetable broth can add some extra. One ingredient I also did forget to mention in the beginning was coconut milk. You're gonna need some coconut milk or coconut cream. You can put that in now if you want. I prefer to put it in at the end. So now that this is covered, we'll let them cook. We'll drop the heat down now to a nice simmer, and we'll let them cook for about 20 minutes. All right, we're back. Our lentils are done and nice and tender. It's been about 20 minutes. It actually might have been a little bit less. I wanted to check because this pot looks pretty darn good. So, nice and soft. So now I'm gonna go ahead and add my coconut milk. I'm going to also let them cook a little bit longer together. I'll just put it even lower. So I'm adding about, probably about a quarter, no, we'll say about a half a cup of the coconut milk. And I think, now that's about half a cup. So I'll add that in there. Then I'm gonna get the lid on and let them simmer for just a little bit longer. This will just kind of infuse all the flavors. It will thicken it up just a tiny bit, so we'll let it do its thing. So yeah, and let those bad boys simmer. Our lentils are all finished. Yum, yum, yum. I went ahead and also made some jasmine rice. Some basmati rice. So we'll go ahead and plate this up and try it out. I like to get my little bed of rice here and then add my lentils right on top of that. Yummy, yummy, yummy. All right, and there it is. You can garnish it with some, add a little bit of cilantro on top, something, and you're good to go. Benji, baby boy over there, likes it. He's having some right now. So good. Got all those nice warm flavors, that creaminess from the coconut milk. It's so good. All right, I had to take one more bite. All right, well, I hope you guys enjoy it. Like it? Is it yummy? Oh, thank you. Yummy, yummy. Here's the final product. These lentils turned out amazing. Thank you so much for watching. I am new to YouTube, so please like, comment, share, subscribe if you would like to continue to see videos like this. Thank you so much. Till next time.